Mardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We salute Bhagavan Sri Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, the destroyer of the demons Kamsa and Chanura, the dear darling of Mother what is that? Devaki, and the Guru of the entire universe. We salute him again and again. Om peace, peace, peace be unto us all. So we started reading the Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th Skandha, chapter 1, and we read the episode of Ajamila. Ajamila, the King Parikshit questioned this, to expound the means for emancipation for transmigratory existence, following the method of gradual release. It consists of practice of divine communion through different disciplines, even attaining to the realm of the Brahma. And from there attaining release from embodied existence. So, you have mentioned all these, the different heavens and different planes of existence. But now, he says, now it behooves you, O Holy One, to explain how man can save himself from the suffering of the purgatory described by you. That means how they can get out of the sin. People have committed so much consciously or unconsciously, so many things, how to get out of that and how they will purify themselves. So then Sukadeva, the king Parikshit, questioned this, and Sukadeva then responded, unless a man does expiation, even here in this world for sins he has committed by his mind, speech and organs, he is sure to undergo the fierce suffering of the purgatory I described to you. That means if they don't get the karma, bad karma, it's punishment here, or is what a reward or punishment here. I have described in previous chapters. I have described in the previous chapters that this body, after living in a subtle body, they go to either heaven or hell and different levels of experience because of their karma. So they will have to purify themselves. So, and then he continued all this discussion one by one. Therefore, long before death, sufficiently early, reduce a little volume here. Therefore, long before death, sufficiently early in life, when the mind and body have not become decrepit, man should do expiations for whatever sins he had done, according to their seriousness, just as a physician skilled in diagnosis treats disease with remedies appropriate to the prevailing condition. So, that means while in this body, we should work on our past actions, good and bad what we did, which may lead us to heaven or to hell. That means you do some good karma, you have some nice reward, and bad karma is punishment. So it comes. So better we should focus on doing something to get out of this all this karma by penance and other things. So the Raja said, we read this, just I am connecting with it before. The king said, even after understanding from experience and instructions that something is sinful, people are found to commit the same sin in spite of themselves. No? We know in our life that is good, that's not bad, that's not good, I should not do it. But still people commit suicide, commit those blunders. Of what use then are this expiation? What is the use of cleaning then? Ramakrishna said that the elephant, once you wash the body of the elephant, and unless you put into a stable or his place, and then he will again make it the body dirty. So normal people do good things, bad things, as some punishment experience, bad, good experience comes. Then he said, I am not going to do second time. But again we do the same mistakes. So what is the use of this? You are saying that we should focus while in living to clean all these things. What is the use? We will do the same mistake. But sometimes man may abstain from sin. But a little later, he indulges in it in spite of expiation. I therefore feel the expiation are useless, like cleaning a elephant whose habit is to spray dust on its back always. No? So like it is useless then. What is the use of austerity? What is the use of prayers and this thing to purify the mind? No? Yes, it is washed out, but again we do the same mistake. It's sanskaras. Shukadev said, the Guru said, ignorance is the ultimate source of all karma. So including expiation, no? It's a karma. Ultimate source, avidya. In ignorance we do mistake. And in ignorance also we do practice. No? When you are meditating, praying, going to holy places, austerity, going to pilgrimage, and say parikrama, they go to Vrindavan, Holy Land, barefoot, they go into the temple around, fasting, all these things you do, that cleans the negativity in us. But that is also under karma, that's a karma. And that karma is also in the realm of ignorance. So, expiation can therefore wash off only the effects of a particular sinful act, but not the tendency to commit them so long as ignorance is their sources. So, why the Raja, the king Parikshit is putting this question? What is the use of all these purifying activities? Well, it is purifying activities are necessary that immediately cleanse the mistake what you have done. There is some dirty surface, you clean with the soap, it is clean. But the tendency which is generated in my mind, the past impulses, very difficult to get out of. This is called the samskaras. Past life's actions embedded in us. So that is very difficult to get out, and that is within the range of ignorance. A person who is wholesome, on wholesome diet does not fall ill. In the same way, one who practices spiritual disciplines gradually attains purification, so his mind becomes purified. So that is the way, O king, the expiations performed by men who are not devoted to Lord Narayana fail to cleanse themselves entirely. That means you can do austerity, you can do fasting and all penances. There are different penances. People, if you go to the austere sadhus, they in the heavy cold, they dip themselves in the Ganga water. Some do urdhva bahu, pulling the hand up all the life, and it becomes emaciated, nail become curly, hair become matted. So this body, I don't care for it. So they torture the body in that way. So this type of austerity can do, you have done something wrong, that will correct it, that will be cleaning. But the tendency which is inside, that will not go unless you call upon God. Japa, meditation. So that is the indication here. As in the society happens, someone does something, suppose you are driving your car with high speed and creating danger for something, the police will come and cite you a ticket. So you pay the fine, that problem is momentarily, you are excused. But the tendency of driving fast does not go away. That unless you change internally, that is not good for me, that is samskara, you have to deal in the samskara. And, oh Lord, I try but I forget again. So, work on that by God's name. Purifying agent is God's name. So, here comes the importance of japa, meditation, etc. So, the expiations performed by men who are not devoted to Narayana fail to cleanse them entirely, like water, a liquor pot. If a man with a feeling of passionate attachment unites his mind with Lord Krishna, even once he will not see Yama or his emissaries with noose in hand, even in dream. That means you surrender to God, you take refuge in God, who is the repository of all purity and love. No? So that will cleanse the mind and purify the soul. Now the story is coming. Srinar Ajamila on his deathbed. So this is the story we start today, verse number 20. This is illustrated, what he has said, the theory that unless you take refuge in God and totally absorb your mind in God, all samskaras, it will not go. Superficial cleaning can be done, but the past impulses again, budbudi. Did you know? In the old pond, you will find that water is so polluted, so bubble comes up now and then. So you cannot stop that. So stop all these things, you will have to take some other measure. So the strongest measure is take the name of the Lord. God's name, purifying agent, japa and prayer. This is illustrated by an ancient traditional account of a conversation between the emissaries of Jama and of Vishnu. Hear it from me. So he is citing one old example that a person, Ajamila, he did so much sinful activity, but at the point of death, he called upon Narayana. Inadvertently, even Narayana name. Now, the Narayana is, emissaries came, so emissaries of Jama also came, because he did committed so much sinful activity. So they want to take the body to the hell. And Narayana's emissaries came, no, he has taken the Lord Narayana's name, so he should come to us. So they went into fight or confusion, and then how it is solved, that story he is describing here. Meaning, it's very meaningful. Bhagavat is like that with so many stories and other things. To the masses gives this message. Right? Not highly philosophical discussion always, but this is useful. So it says, in the city of Kannakubja, there was a Brahmana. He was a Brahmin, and his name was Ajamila, who had a harlot as his concubine. Corrupted by association with her, he abandoned the scriptural regulations binding the life of a Brahmana. So Brahmana's characteristic, Brahmana's way of living, he forgot because of the bad association. He adopted, for the support of himself and his family, such heinous means as highway robbery, gambling, cheating, stealing, and the like. So he took a wrong path and lived a life of corruption and cruelty to the living beings. No? So that is his life. He was a Brahmin, born of a Brahmin family, forget the Brahminic behavior, and then went into wrong association. That's why it is said, always we should be careful about asat sangha. We like to keep friendship with the world, no? No. Friendship with the world, worldly people, they pollute our mind unconsciously. You may be very innocent, apparently it appears innocent, but that because their mind is polluted with the tendencies, and that worldly tendency will come into the person who is trying to improve their character. That's why Narada Bhakti Sutra, even in Raja Yoga and other places, everywhere emphasis has been given, be careful about Sangha, association. So Ramakrishna said that see the power of association. Even the bones, a person is died now, it becomes fossil. In contact with the, what you call this, stone, it gets the characteristic of stone character. So, association of holy makes us holy. Association of negative thinking people pollutes our mind in negativity. So therefore, satsangastu durlabho amoghascha asatsanga sarvataiva tajya. Narada says, asatsanga, that association with the unholy or inauspicious or which is detrimental to a spiritual path should be shunned always. Because they drag. See, many people in a practical life, I used to go to give a Gita class, and that Gita class, it happens in weekend, no? Otherwise everyone is doing work. So when the class starts, I used to say, I don't see this person, that person, what has happened? And then when they come, I asked what happened. Oh, we have to go to a friend, and they, why? And we have a party, this party, that party, that party, that party. Then I said that, yes, this party, that party, we did it. How many times you did? What is the end result of all this party? That makes a good friendship for a few days. But when you are sick, when you are financial crisis, all party friends will one by one leave you. Look at the life of Swami Vivekananda. Look at your own personal life. When you are in critical situation, only by chance, God's grace, one or two will come forward and ask, how are you, what are you? And then also that will dwindle down. So don't think this party will say, I said, then why not do God party, Gita party? That's also a party. But anyhow, but that association that brings that type of mental emotions. Spiritual party, singing, bhajan, kirtan, that creates a emotion. And also other type of thing also creates other association. But a spiritual seeker should be very careful, because how it affects us, we do not know. Opi ime tarangaita opi ime samudrayante. In the Bhagavad, in the Narada Sutra it says, tarangaita opi ime. If it seems like a little, what's this taranga wave, no, little ripple. You don't care about ripple, no? But ripples, starting with ripple, it becomes like a mighty wave and dash upon you and can destroy you. So be careful about association. So here he's saying that he fell into the bad association, and he, being a Brahminic character of reciting the Vedic mantras, chanting God's name, and all the good qualities, what is Brahminic quality, what he got engaged in heinous means as highway robbery, gambling, cheating, stealing, and the like, and lived a life of corruption and cruelty to living being. So he does not care. I need money. I can rob, you can kill, you can do whatever, cheat. So that he indulged into it. Absorbed in fondling the children of that woman, he spent the majority of his life until he was 88. The old man had 10 sons, of whom Narayana was the youngest and was very dear to the parents. The most joyous occupation for that old man was to watch the pranks of that sweetly prattling child to whom he was so deeply attached. Feeding the child along with himself, making him eat and drink with himself, that foolish man failed to notice the approach of the god of death, completely dominated as he was by the attachment of the child. They forgot, my age is drawing. I am now over 80. No more wastage of time in pricking and filing. No? So he forgot that ideal and he got engrossed into worldly relationship because of the sanskaras and because of the association. While spending his time thus, his last days approached. Still that man of little understanding continued to bestow his whole mind on his child Narayana. He named in India, they give all the names of gods and goddesses. Everyone's name has a meaning. And you analyze the meaning, meaning is God. All the sadhus are named. All sadhus' name is, ultimately, it is Satchidananda. So, even in ordinary names, you go to the deeper meaning, you will find that it is all God. So see, he didn't think it is God, but he fell in love with the child and he was thinking and giving the name of Narayana. He was thinking day and night of Narayana. When the time of death came, he saw before him three fierce beings. Three. The emissaries of Yama, with curved faces and with erect hairs and with ropes in the hand, come to fetch him. On seeing them, he was struck with fear and cried aloud to his boy, Narayana, who was playing at some distance away from there. Hearing the dying man's cry, invoking the sacred name of Srihari, the emissaries of Mahavishnu hurried to his side. No? So, very nice description. Yeah. So, just the death of Jama came to take him to punishment because he has done so many bad karmas. And at the same time he called upon Narayana. And Narayana thought that his emissaries, they thought, oh, someone is calling upon Narayana, he's a good guy. So let us go to take care of him. These emissaries of Vishnu forcibly disengaged the attendants of Yama, who were already pulling out the soul from the heart of the degenerated servant maid's paramour. So, because of the bad karma, they are trying to pull the body out and take the soul to the hell. And when so obstructed, the attendants of Yama, the son of Vivasana, said, who are you to go counter to the order of Yama, the Lord of Dharma? Whose servants are you? Where are you coming from? Why do you obstruct our taking away this man? Are you celestials or demigods or siddhas, etc.? All of you have eyes like lotus petals, are dressed in yellow silk, have diadem and ear pendants, and are wearing beautiful lotus garlands. You are all looking young, and you are endowed with 4 arms and equipped with bow, quiver, sword, mace, etc., etc. By your luster, you are illuminating the surroundings. Why are you obstructing us, the attendants of Dharmaraja, the god of justice, in discharge of your duties? So he saw some celestial being, that means Narayana himself. His emissaries came. They also look like they are Vishnu, Lord Vishnu. They look like Vishnu. Now, Sukadev now narrated what is going on. He said, when the attendants of Yama said this, the emissaries of Vishnu smiled and replied the words that sounded like thunder. The emissaries of Vishnu said, so it is not the Vishnu has not come. It is called Vishnu Loka. Those who live in the Loka, plane of Vishnu, they look like Vishnu. You live with the demons, you look like demon, isn't it? You live with the holy people, your face will change, your personality will change. No. So appearance will also change. As you think, your body, mind, everything changes. So, because they are Vishnu's emissaries, they look like Vishnu, as if they are also have 4 arms. They are also guarded and all the Vishnu's characteristics. And these Jamas, emissaries, they didn't see Vishnu any time because they also did some bad karma. They are under the Jama then. They are controlled under. So those who do punish the prisoners, they are by their own nature, whatever they say, I am for job, I am doing this. But they are brutal people. They will act in the role of brutality, no? Punishing, hitting them, putting them to much torture. So all these are done. So they look like the same brutal people. So if then the emissaries of Vishnu then responded, then said, if you are the emissaries of Dharma Raja, then you would be able to tell us what the essence of Dharma is and what is its significance, signs are. You should also be able to inform us how you are going to inflict punishment, what punishments you would be inflicting, what kind of people are liable for punishment, and whether it would be inflicted on all or on someone only. That means you are going to give a punishment to this guy, but tell me, what is dharma? What is the right type of people, candidate for you to give punishment? The attendants of Jama then replied, they said that dharma is what is ordained in the Veda. So Vedic dharma. Veda's karma kanda says, do this, don't do this. Kamma karma, nishiddha karma. These are karma, different types of karma. So you follow the Vedic path, do good karma, charitable activity, selfless activity, perform the jagnas for the good of all. So that the dharma is what is ordained in the Vedas. We should not decide ourselves. So the Vedas are the dictating guideline. What is probably prohibited in the Veda is called adharma. So what is dharma? According to Vedic culture, what is mentioned in the Vedas, these are called righteous action, and you don't do it is called unrighteous or adharma. The self-originated Veda is Narayana himself, having emerged with his breath. And these Vedas have come from what? From the Brahma, Narayana. Jasya nishashitam etat jadrik Veda sama Veda atharvana. It says in the Vedic verse, it came out of the breath of Lord Narayana. Jasya nishashitam, like a breath, it is the life force. Similarly, the Vedas has come out of the breath of God himself. Narayana is he. Who is Narayana then? Narayana is he who creates in himself creatures out of the qualities of Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Narayana's breath is Vedas, and Narayana creates this entire universe by the 3 gunas. And these people, the objects in this world, all are 3 gunas. The trees, plants, the human, subhuman, everywhere you will find Sattiko, Rajasiko and Tamasiko. In the plant world, there are beautiful, fragrant flowers, no? There are poisonous flowers. You smell, you will die. There are poison oaks. There are soft creepers. So, good, bad, everywhere will be there. That is the way the Lord created with the 3 gunas. Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Characterized by the distinctions of form, name and action. The sun, fire, sky, air, the senses, moon, daytime, night, quarters, water, earth, time, etc. These are the witness of all actions of man. Everything is our actions are noted down by whom? Whatever we do, it is observed by somebody. Vedanta says witness consciousness. But here he says Saguna Brahma. We say God sees everything what you do. You cannot hide God. You can close the door and no one sees, no camera fitted there, no one will observe, but God will observe. Or you will observe. There is somebody in you, or the Lord Himself will observe everything good or bad. So, what are this? Even physically, you say the sky is observing your activities, the sun is observing your activity. So, actions of man are witnessed. They testify to man's evil actions. You do something, who will say? Nature will say, hey, I have observed, he did this. In what time? 5 o'clock he did this. No? The time is an observer. They say daytime it has happened. Day is observer. In Hinduism, everything is conscious. It is like the child put consciousness in the doll. That doll is alive, not doll, just a play doll. We know it is play doll, but for them it is. So to us, this whole universe is conscious entity. Sun is not sun. It is called Surya Devata. Day, god of death, daytime, god of night. Usha, morning, god of the morning time. So Hinduism is replete with this idea. This in the cosmic plane, everything is not only matter, but there is consciousness inside, and they are called devas or devis. So they testify all these testifying agents like air, the moon, the sun, daytime, nighttime, earth, time, dharma, etc. They are observed, testify man's evil actions. A man found guilty of evil deeds is fit subject for punishment. So if you do something bad, the rule is that he should be punished. All men who engage themselves in evil actions are liable to punishment according to the nature of their works. Similarly, O holy ones, all works produces a mixture of good and bad effects. This is the karma theory. Gita talks about this karma. Any action you do, no action is perfectly good. A good and bad is there. You are cleaning this place, but you are killing so many bacteria. You want to keep your house very nice and tidy, cobwebs here and there, so many, you have to kill so many, what? Spiders. So whatever you do, every karma has its opposite something. That's why Misra. That Gita says 3 types of karma. One is good, one is bad, one is the mixture. So here it says all works produce a mixture of good and bad effects. You are cleaning, cleanliness is good action, but bad is that you are also destroying some life. It may be visible, it may be invisible. Your books are eaten away by the silverfish. You are cleaning your books correctly, or your clothings, warm clothings or something, but the silverfish is eating away. So you kill that. So the one side is good, another side is bad. So mixture of these accrue to the worker because he has attachment for the works of their own fruits. It attaches to us. But if you do it for God, it will not attach. You are doing for the karma done by ego comes to me. I did it, so I will have to have the consequences. You do some good karma, people praise you, oh wonderful, today's meal is wonderful, Nirav. Oh, it is one tasteful, ha. So if you say so, then again today is bad food, that also you get the name, bad name. So good name, bad name because we have our ego. But if this egoist is Nirav does that, this is not for me, I did it for God. Good is good, oh Lord, it goes to you. If they don't say good, it goes to you. I'm free. I'm the third party. So there comes, karma does not hit us. It goes to the world, to God itself, because you are doing for God. So he says, these accrue to the worker because he has attachment for work and their fruits. We all have attachment for work and for its results. And no man with a body can absolutely abstain from work. Gita says, so long you are in the body, you cannot stop working. Even your thinking is a work. Physically you are not doing anything, but you are sitting and you are thinking something. That is a work. So whoever has performed dharma and adharma, and to the extent he has done them in proportion to it, he enjoys and suffers in the life hereafter. Similarly, while in this life you have done so many good karmas, so naturally it will bring good to you. Someone does something bad, it will come to that person only. Therefore, O noble celestials, he is talking. Who are talking? The Jama's emissaries, talking to the Narayan's emissaries. Says, O noble celestials, just as in this world men have happiness or misery, or happiness come misery, because of the operations of the three gunas of the Prakriti, it can be presumed that the same happen to them hereafter as well. Here also get punishment, police takes action, puts to jail, judge gives some verdict to punish or release, no? Similarly, after death also, these activities takes us to the good and bad areas of their fulfillment of their actions, the net purpose of the actions which has been done, accordingly they are punished or rewarded. Just as from the current session, say spring, we can infer the nature of the past and the future spring seasons, so also the present birth is a pointer regarding the dharma and adharma of a jiva in his past and future births. It says just a seasonal thing is spring comes, no? As spring comes, seeing that we can infer that in the nature there was spring before and the spring season will come afterwards. Similarly, he says the present birth, this present birth is a pointer regarding the dharma and adharma. What is righteous thing, what is non-righteous, and jiva has in his past, because how it comes now, it has a past experience, again we do repeat the same thing and get out of it, again we do something. So life of karma binds us, wheel of karma. Buddhism talks about that, no? All our karma, dharmic karma, that's why he emphasizes very much. But Vedanta says you have to go beyond dharma also. Adharma, unrighteous activity, that takes to negativity. Dharma activity, righteous activity, takes you to higher life. But it is within the ignorance. To go beyond that, you have to jump above dharma. Adharma, dharma, beyond dharma. Adharma, adharma. So, the worshipful Jama, Brahma-like in wisdom, can even smile while remaining in his realm, Samyamani, understand to the power of his mind all the previous history of a dying individual and decide what kind of purgatory should be awarded to him. He says that Jama has a department. You call in Bengal you call it Jamer Khata. There is everything you do. Yama means controller. There is a controller. His department is there. What you do, now Wi-Fi, through Wi-Fi it goes there and it gets recorded there. Nowadays CPAP machine is there. it is connected in such a way that whether your sleep is good or bad, the doctor knows in the office. It is connected there. Similarly, in Yama's principle of creation of this world, he has some recording secretaries. And what type of work you did, what type of good deed, everything is recorded there. And accordingly, that officer judges on behalf of Yama. This should be going to punishment for 10 days punishment, 20 days hell, or 1 month heaven, or 6 months heaven. All are decided there. And that order comes. And then the soul is pulled into that and have the punishment, no? Like a handcuff. An individual soul is handcuffed and forced to go with the punishing people standing with a noose in the hand and the arms and weapons in the hand, no? So they are carried out. It is like a person committing some mischievous or bad activity is taken to the jail by the police officers. So he says all the previous history of a dying individuals, all the previous activities, what he did in the life, and decide that what kind of purgatory punishment should be awarded to him and what kind of future birth he should have. After finishing that, where he will go back. Just as a person caught in the darkness of ignorance, that overtakes him in the dream state, regards the dream ego alone as himself and not his body of the waking state, so also man thinks of his present body as himself in complete forgetfulness of the other bodies he had in earlier births. He has got many punishments, no? But forget that. The 10 senses, inclusive of the 5 knowledge and 5 of action, then the 5 pranas and the mind, constitute the 16 adjuncts of the jiva. The 17th category being the jiva himself. So, jiva means what? 17. We come across these 17 elements make the jiva. Jiva is individual soul. What is the individual soul? Individual soul is the 10 senses, 5 senses of perception, eyes, ear, do acquire knowledge, and 5 organs of action, hand, feet, etc. So pancha gyanendriya, pancha karmendriya. And in 5 pranas, this is called the prana. Prano, apano, samano, udano, vyano. That means the air function in the body. Without that movement, this body will not function. So prana, the life force, no? Breathing in and out. Apana, the force which helps us to excretion. Prana, apana. Samano, in making the balance in the body and digestion, etc. Udano, this is called udano. That, as if we eat sometimes or we need some drinking water, we do that. That is as if the air tries to come out. That is udano. So these functions are all to be made very perfectly balanced. There are three. What are the 3? And constituent of the 3 prana, 5 action of perception, 5 action of action, and the mind. So this all together, 3 into 5, 15, and prana is the 16, and lastly the jiva individual, I. That makes the subtle body, and that gets punishment. Like a dream. When you go to dream, what happens? Don't you get punishment? We are happy, unhappy in the dream. This body is not connected there, but the subtle body you have, in your subtle body night dream, last night what did you saw yourself? You have 5 sense organs, you are breathing there also, your hand, feet is there, your mind was working, and the individual cell, I, working. So these are called the subtle body. This is the gross body, that's the subtle body. And the subtle body is pulled out of the physical body, and that is given punishment. That means, meaning in mental level we get punished. No. Sometimes you see, physically there is no punishment. A person is perfectly okay, but mentally he is suffering so much. It is like that, it gets mental suffering. Physical suffering is hunger, thirst, lack of house, lack of money. These are physical trouble. But mental trouble is very dangerous, much more punishing is that mental. So the jiva, though distinct from the other categories, he is jiva. He, the jiva, enjoys to the 16 categories, the mind, the experiences gathered by the three, the organs of action, the senses and the mind. So the experiences which is gathered by the pranic forces, eyes, ear, nose, hand, feet, and the breathing, all these, the organs of action, etc., sense and the mind, though distinct from all other categories, the jiva, individual soul, I suffer. In the dream, who suffers? Your hand, feet, everything is there, but who suffers? I suffer. The word comes, oh, I had a terrible dream. I was crying and I was weeping. I was chased by a dog, tiger, or as a bad guy was chasing me with a knife in hand. So, who is feeling that? It's the I, that individual soul, jiva. This is the linga sarira, subtle body, which is beginningless in origin and is constituted of the above mentioned 16 adjuncts. Born of the three gunas of Prakriti, involves the jiva in the endless flux of samsara, bringing on him various experiences such as joy, fear, sorrow, suffering. Just experience yourself what happens in your dream. This body remaining totally separate. But all experience of suffering, joy, pleasure, pain is going on there. And who enjoys? I enjoy. Who is that I? Who identifies with that subtle body. Now it is subtle body, he is suffering, but he is with the subtle body and the gross body. Now he is endowed with two bodies, gross body, subtle body, and the causal body is the I body. So I is experiencing these two experiences. The jiva, who has not yet conquered the senses, is forced to perform karma even if he does not like it. Like a silkworm, the jiva covers himself with the cocoon of karma with no means to get out. Silkworm, did you see the silkworm? They enclose themselves in that. Their own karma. That's why there is a song, Ram Prasad song, Dharma holo Kodando Sarup Punno Khetro Maje Katilam Kup Se Kupe Berilo Kal Rupafoni Kalo Manorama Doskaru Naigoma Ami Shakato Solile Dube Mori Shama. Oh Ma, it is not anyone's fault, it is my own work. I have created this trouble by cocoon. The cocoon example he has given, I have dug the ground and made my own well of death. It is my creation. My karma has created. My desire has created this. So, I cannot blame anyone. So here the jiva covers himself with the cocoon of karma with no means to get out. It is such tight covering. Sometimes we say, what is the way out? I have no means to get out of the troubles of life. Troubles of life because you are identified with the body. If you say, I am not this body, what trouble? Trouble happens where in our life? Body or in mind, or in our ego, or our understanding. Your understanding, there trouble comes. Someone says, this philosophy is correct, this philosophy is wrong. You go on fighting there, no? Trouble is there. Bodily, there is trouble in bodily, heat, cold, this, that. Mentally, Also it is mental, people are suffering so much in the mental level. So, but this identification, no one can remain. So, the karma, means to get out. So, it is being bound in that karma, no one finds any way out. No one can remain without karma, even. That's another point. But what can he do? We cannot remain without karma. Because restless, you sit quietly in meditation, everyday meditation. People think I am meditating. But what you are doing? You are fighting in the mind. So tremendous activity going on there. And when that activity reduces, then your real meditation comes. Then you disidentify with body, mind, because the mind is going to God. So he says, no one can remain without a karma. Na karmanam anarambha. Gita says, no one can remain without karma for a moment. Even for a minute. Compelled by natural impulses like desire, greed, anger, which are born of the gunas of Prakriti, and it evolutes. All men are compelled to work. So, because so long we have the three gunas, you will have to work. Karma, you have to do. Now, driven by the forces of tendencies when you do karma, or bad karma, my mind forces me, drives me to do certain type of karma. Duryodhana said, I do bad karma. I know it is bad, but by force, my tendency makes me. There are some, you can see in the society, even in the family. One brother is very sattvika. Another brother is poking all the time and creating trouble for everyone and running, stealing something from here and suddenly hitting someone. So these tendency is forcing them. The children, if you tell them, hi, why did you do? They will say, no, I didn't do, and then again do. So it is compelling forces. So Prakriti and all men are compelled to do work. Now, driven by the forces of tendencies provided by the store of his past actions, the jiva gets a gross and subtle body. And we get a body which is gross body, similar to that, according to our karma, we get it, and what we want to enjoy. You get a crow body with a mouth like this. We get a human body, face like that. You see, a tiger body, this face is there like elephant with a, what you call, a trunk, like this, and then put inside. No? So, what you want to enjoy, you got the body accordingly. It is organized like that, God's plan. Their karma will bring your body. That's why there are features. There are people who are astrologers or some, they see the forehead, they see the features, and they can predict. Ramakrishna used to do, looking at someone could say something, even weighing his hand. Weighing his hand, there is a hand weight. And Ramakrishna could do that and understand how sattvika you are, or how rajasika or tamasika. So, but that means the body is, we create our body. This, the philosophy is this. According to our thought, according to our action. Sattvika body, those who are pure souls, they have their sattvika body. So here, driven by the forces of the tendencies provided by the store of his past actions, the jiva get a gross body and accordingly subtle body also, resembling the man and the women to whom he has got embodiment. It will be also, the mom and dad will be also that tendency, baby will be born in that family. There is interconnectedness. This transformation of the conditions of the jiva from his pristine nature unto a transmigrating individual is due to his association with the Prakriti, but it will soon come to an end if he develops intense devotion to the Supreme Lord. That is the conclusion. So you have no escape from birth and death. One desire will pull gun, another desire will come up. Another karma I will do. I don't know why I did that karma. consciously or unconsciously, its impact will happen. I have taken some hot chili, not knowing. It looks like bean, and I have taken 3-4 chilies at a time. Because I don't know it is, I thought it is bean, my mouth will not be feeling very peaceful. It will be burning. Because you have taken the chili, it will burn. So no exception. So karma will be like that. So that is the way of transmigration in the prakriti, in the nature. It will come to an end. When it will come, you take refuge in God. That is the teaching of Bhagavatam. All these actions we have to understand karma theory. And after understanding the karma theory, we have to take surrender to God. How to get out of the karma. Karma vipake gatagati puna matiruhu tuapara sangha. Vaishnava literature talks about that. The karma vipake gatagati puna. In the whirlpool of karma, good and bad what we do, in that side gatagati, coming and going in our life. We cannot stop that. This is irresistible. Buddha said, Aneka Janma Sangsara. Many lifetimes I have moved into this life of birth and death in like a chakra. No? And I now have understood my nature, so you cannot bind me anymore. So here also, God's grace, surrender to God, can stop this journey of birth and death. Okay? So we end here. Next class will be at 7:30. We will read Shvetashvetara Upanishad. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. There is a question. Oh, so 2-3 questions are here. So what should we do tomorrow for the Harini Kali Puja? Can Manasa Puja be a substitute for Bahir Puja? Tomorrow is Harini, tomorrow. Oh. Yeah. Yes, all puja, if one can do the external puja, of course they can do. But where that needs too many items, too many preparation, too many things. Mental worship is the best worship. Mentally cry, and best is the tearful eyes, cry to mother. That is the best follow Harini Kula. And that is the prayer. Take away all follow. Follow Harini. Follow means fruits. We are talking about karma. Follow Harini Puja is the night of worshipping the Divine Mother who takes away all our karma follow. If the karma follow is gone, then you are free. We are here because of our karma. And this we are here because to get the follow result of my past life's action. What I did, what I thought. So Mother, take away all follow. With the tearful eyes if we do, that is the best puja. Best puja, we can do puja in another way. External puja with items of this and that and mantra, chanting this, that, as has been prescribed in the scripture. That's called the formal follow Harini puja. And today also will be follow Harini. Mother, Ramakrishna worshipped Mother, Holy Mother. On the night follow Harini Kali Puja day. On the same, tomorrow will be the day. And what happened? He became Samadhi, and he went into ecstasy, and Mother also went into ecstasy. This is the puja. The highest puja is that. So you should get absorbed in the divine, and whom you are worshipping, the deity is also absorbed in the self. So there is no puja pujak. There is no worshipper and the worshipped. They all merge into one. That is the best puja. Yes, if we cannot, then the mental puja is the best. Next. How can we politely interact with asat sangha, who we see in daily life, like co-workers, old friends? Is there a positive approach to these interactions we can keep in mind so that the sanskaras minimize? Sometimes good intentions in some sadhakas can fall into black and white thinking. How can we discriminate while maintaining even-sightedness and not creating aversion? Yes, we have friends. We cannot be cruel to say a friend and not talk to him or her. But question is that if we find that it does not make me spiritually inclined, then I can say hello, how are you, many days you have not seen, few minutes spend and smile and joy, and make a separation from that association. But your co-worker, what can you do? You will have to think, okay, there is a philosophy, bring a philosophy that there is also my divine mother, or Narayana is there. Only his covering is dirty covering. That's why negativity is so much. But I love who is inside, not whether you love what is called hate the sin, not the sinner. So that attitude is to be cultivated. Everywhere there is God, encased with different costumes. And that is sattvika costume, rajasika costume, tamasika costume. For me, to grow into a spiritual plant, spiritual tree, I will have to make a fence. Otherwise, I will not grow. I will be gone. For my growth of spiritual, for my survival of my spiritual growth, I will have to find some means how I can avoid, with gentleness, with politeness, not to thinking that I am a great spiritual person rather than you. Not that way, but trying to do the best we can do in a polite way, and also respectfully. There is the same divine who is in me. But only I, in my immature state, Swami Vivekananda said, when he was a young boy, he was so orthodox and pure that he will not walk even on the same sidewalk, footpath, where there is a theatre hall. Because theatre means worldly this, that. Huh? So, he will not walk. And then he said, at this age, at this point of my life, that I now can be with a prostitute without any reaction in my mind. That's raised in such a level, there is no prostitute. Apparently the world will say her life is good, bad, but he lives in that consciousness. So that is a state. To reach that state, we have to protect ourselves. So that is we'll have to meet with the people and really not discourteous to them, but to protect. For you know how much protection you need, how much you have strength to associate with them and don't take the negativities from them. So that it is a wise decision to be made, and sometimes it is not possible. Pray for everyone and pray to Thakur and Ma every day, and give me strength, give me power to fight with these odds of life, so that protect me from, in that morning prayer, Ramakrishna's prayer, we see, I am your innocent child, please help me, protect me. And consciously not indulging into that, but unconsciously you'll have to adjust with that. Thank you. See you then again next time, 7:30 in the Upanishad class.